We are joined now by Deborah Katz, Christine Blasey Ford's attorney. Ms. Katz, good morning to you. Your client is waking up with her name in every headline, with her story on every television show. How is her frame of mind this morning? How is she feeling?
I haven't spoken to her this morning. It's earlier there, but yesterday was quite a roller coaster. There was a great deal of support that came her way, but there was also the kind of threatening behavior that she feared most by coming forward. She did receive a lot of very vicious, sexually violent emails from total strangers, and of course that's extremely unsettling.
Obviously, we've just heard the details of her story. She alleges a sexual assault back in high school. One of the therapist's notes from a few years ago when she recounted this states that it was an attempted rape. My question to you is, does she consider this an attempted rape?
She does. She clearly considers this an attempted rape. She believes that if it were not for the severe intoxication of Brett Kavanaugh, she would have been raped.
The other person who was in the room, a man by the name of Mark Judge, according to your client, says this didn't happen. He said it's just nuts. This didn't happen. Your response?
Well, he's also written 3 books and many, many articles and Twitter posts that have all now been completely scrubbed from the public domain, where he acknowledges that that was behavior that from his Georgetown prep school days, that they routinely engaged in tremendous drinking and really inappropriate behavior, and that the drinking was so severe that they were blacked out regularly. That's now been scrubbed.
Yeah. Ms. Katz, is your client willing to testify before the Judiciary Committee publicly and tell this story?
She is. She's willing to do whatever it takes to get her story forth, yes.
Does she think Judge Kavanaugh should withdraw his nomination? Is that what she hopes comes out of this?
She's not taking a position on that. She believes that these allegations obviously bear on his character and his fitness, and the denials, of course, also bear on his character and fitness.
Perhaps it's yeah. Sorry, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Go ahead. She has taken a polygraph. She's a credible person. These are serious allegations, and they should be addressed. Yesterday, the White House would not even have the nominee acknowledge whether he knew her, and he's not being forthcoming.
Does she think that he is lying about this?
Well, she knows what the truth is, and if he's denying an event that she knows to be true, he is not telling the truth.
And then finally, according to the Washington Post, she's a Democrat. A lot of people look at this and say, here's somebody who has a political motive to tell this story. What would you say to that?
I would say no one in their right mind, regardless of their motive, would want to inject themselves into this process and face the kind of annihilation that she will be subjected to by those who want this nominee to go through. This is not a politically motivated action. In fact, she was quite reluctant to come forward, and she was in fact outed after she had made the decision not to come forward.
Deborah Katz, thank you for coming on this morning. We appreciate it.
Thank you.